Hey guys, it's Jeremy again, back for another video, and this is a book review video, and this is a book I just finished last night, and I kind of is still in my brain, so I thought, why not review it, because I have to talk about this book. And the book I'm here to review for you guys today is on The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. And this is the first book in the Hunger Games trilogy, and I've been hearing about this book for several years, and the movie is really, really good. I really enjoyed the movie, so yeah. So anyway, this is the cover, the very beautiful, simple, gorgeous cover, which I absolutely adore. And that is the spine, and the back, and the other side, that shows the pages. It's not a very big book, and like always, and as per usual, I'm going to be reading the inside synopsis of the book, and I hope you enjoy. Could you survive on your own in the wild with everyone out to make sure you don't live to see the morning? In the ruins of a place once known as North America lies the nation of Pan Am, a shining capital surrounded by 12 outlying districts. The capital is harsh and cruel and keeps the districts in line by forcing them all to send one boy and one girl between the ages 12 and 18 to participate in the annual Hunger Games, a fight to the death on live TV. 16-year-old Katniss Everdeen, who lives alone with her mother and younger sister, regards it as a death sentence when she steps forward to take her sister's place in the games. But Katniss has been close to dead before, and survival for her is second nature. Without really meaning to, she becomes a contender, but if she's to win, she will start having to make choices that weigh survival against humanity and life against love. And that's it. As I said before, this is the first of the Hunger Games trilogy written by Suzanne Collins. Let me just start by saying I've been hearing about this book really ever since it came out I believe, in September of 2008. It was shortly after a lot of, this really, I think, was the beginning of the dystopian trilogy genre in YA. Where the dystopian trilogy idea really started. And everybody was hearing about it. I remember I was in high school when this book novel was published, and everybody was talking about how good it is, how epic, how action-packed, how suspenseful, where literally you started the book and you could not stop reading it until you were finished. So I was very excited to read this, but this book also had a lot of hype on it, so I was a little bit hesitant to read it, because normally with books that have a lot of hype, I tend to not really like very much. As you guys knew in my Divergent review, this book had a lot of hype on it, and I ended up not really enjoying it very much, but I have reread it since. Again, I went back and reread some of my favorite parts, and I have grown to really enjoy it. But this book definitely topped that. Not that I'm comparing the two at all, they're completely different dystopians, but this one I was definitely not bored, nor confused, nor anything in this. So let's really jump thoroughly into this review. This book follows a main character of Katniss Everdeen. She lives in District 12, which is the poorest district of the 12 that are there. And District 12 is very poor, as I said, and I keep repeating myself. It's very poor, it's not very clean, there's hardly anything to eat. Like a loaf of bread is like heaven. It really puts things into perspective. It really made me realize how lucky I am to have the food even like a loaf of bread that most people would really take for granted, just being bread. And in District 12, bread is what they mainly love off: bread and cheese and squirrels and stuff. Yeah, people actually eat squirrels, which I've never had squirrels, so I can't even imagine eating that. And then there's gooseling that they eat a lot in this book. And but basically what starts this book is the 74th annual Hunger Games. It's a game, really, kind of like reality TV show, really, called the Hunger Games. And every year there's the games. And this year is the 74th Hunger Games. And in this one, Katniss' sister Primrose her name has been put in here, and it's only been, I think this is her first year her name is in there, or maybe it's twice, I'm not too sure. And so her name gets picked, and just on instinct, Katniss volunteers as tribute for her, because her sister, I believe, is only 12, I believe, yeah, I believe she's only 12 years old, and she wouldn't survive. Actually, I think she could be younger. Sorry if I'm missing some details. I'm not too sure on that fact. And basically, she just goes in, and she volunteers for her sister, and she meets the other male tribute. Name is Peter Lamarck, and he's the male tribute, because like the inside synopsis says, it says that one boy and one girl from each district. So 24 people go into the Hunger Games, and there's only one victor. There can only be one survival of the games. And this book, there was a lot of unexpected twists and turns, as well as a few tears. If you guys have read this book, you'll know what I mean by that. But I was very, very heartbroken by a certain character passing away, and I won't say who it is, but I really enjoyed a lot of characters. I thought Katniss was really badass, and she was very strong and very well. She knew what she wanted to do. She was not afraid to go in there and to get into the nitty-gritty. This is a very gruesome, this book is not for the weak-stomached. I mean, if you have a weak stomach, this is not the book for you. I'm going to say that right now. It's very gruesome. It's very horrid, because Suzanne Collins was not afraid to murder people in this book. Obviously, you know they're going to die, but she didn't sugarcoat their deaths. It was up there in the nitty-gritty of it. You really got to see these people die, and it's horrifying. I mean, somebody that you saw alive, breathing, living, and in a moment's notice, their throat has been slashed open and blood is leaking everywhere, and it's almost so realistic. This book may be dystopian, but it's extremely up there with very realistic themes in it, and I really respected that of this book, because most books, they sugarcoat death a lot, and she did not sugarcoat it at all. She's up there. It's right in your face of these people dying, and it's very sad, but it's very, very real. I'm probably saying real and as well as realistic a lot in this video, but it really was. I have not read a realistic novel like this in such a long time. I don't want to give you too much about this, but the book ends on a very interesting twist, and I won't say what it is, but almost everybody knows what this is, but this is just one of those books I don't want to spoil, even if you haven't read this yet. It's very unexpected, and I really grew to like Peeta. He's the romance character, or half of it. This has somewhat of a love triangle between Katniss, Peeta, and then Katniss's best friend Gale, which is her hunting partner, because Katniss is a hunter. She provides for her family since her father has passed away, and her mother has become very closed, and she doesn't speak very much. She's very hollow since she has lost her husband, so Katniss kind of takes it upon herself to be the breadwinner of the household and provide for them. And I really enjoyed this book. It was very good and very action-packed. The book is not very big. It's about 374 pages, consisting of 27 chapters. But I really couldn't put this down. It's a very decent size, as I said, so it was a really, really fun book to dive into and be immersed into the story. I really enjoyed this book very, very much, and I do recommend it, especially if you like futuristic stories as well as dystopian. I do recommend it. And as well as the movies. The movies are very good. I have seen the Hunger Games movie probably about 5 or 6 times now, and I really do enjoy the movie. They did do some changes, but the changes they did take away from the book, I do understand. They're not hugely, maybe one is somewhat huge, but the others are very small, and they don't affect the story too much. But I do recommend this book. It was very good, and I am very anxious to read Catching Fire, as well as Mockingjay, which I do have in hardcover. So this is my review for The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I'm sorry I didn't say a lot, but with a book like this, it's so hard not to say too much, because this book is extremely amazing and epic, and I don't want to spoil for anybody who has not gotten the chance to read it quite yet. But the text is quite nice, so I don't think it would take anybody too long to read it. And this is the Mockingjay pen that Katniss gets in the book, and if you take off the jacket, it's also on the book itself as well, which is really cool. But let me know what you thought of the ending and what you thought of certain parts. I don't like to do spoiler reviews for books like this, so I do recommend you to pick it up and read it for yourselves. You can get the softback or the paperback. It's out now. The whole trilogy you can get in the American paperback, but I got the box set for about $30-something last year for my birthday, so I wanted to treat myself, and these are books that I definitely wanted to read. So do look out for my reviews for Catching Fire and Mockingjay at some point this year. I think I may read Catching Fire around May. I'm thinking, I don't know, it may be sooner or later. I just don't know at this point, but I absolutely love this book, and I definitely recommend it. This book, but I do want to give a thing. I would say 15 years old and up can read this. I think anybody can really read this. Let's see if it says anything in here. Yeah, it doesn't. But it just it does have some very gruesome scenes in it. So I would recommend you to be of the decent age. I wouldn't say a child read this. I think they'll be traumatized by it. But I'd say 15 and up can read this easily. Even 14 even. I'd say 14 and up could easily read this and very much enjoy it. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling, but I just wanted to say that. But this is a really good book. Suzanne Collins' The Hunger Games book. That's the spine, which looks pretty, except for my book is like this, because I've run out of room on my bookshelf for it, so I really have enjoyed this book. But yeah, that's my review of The Hunger Games, and I hope you enjoy watching it. I hope I've said enough in this video that you'll want to read it. I'm not sure what I'm going to read next, but my brother did give me this book, and it is Delirium by Lauren Oliver, which is another dystopian society type of story where they consider love to be a disease, and I think everybody's read this book but me, and the text, again, is just like Hunger Games, not too bad. So I think I'm going to be reading this one soon, but I don't know. It'll just depend on my mood. But thank you for watching my review. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.